Paladin, maybe you want to share a little bit about your project for everyone here that's not familiar with it.
Sure, sure. Yes. So I've been in the Web3 space since 2021, and I've been like looking at all the different angles of the space, and I was, buying into PFP projects, buying art, and then at a certain point, manifold contracts came out. So that's when I decided to also mint my own photography because I'm a photographer. And before I was a photographer, I did startups for very big corporations, for fashion companies like Levi's, Seven for All Mankind, Esprit, really big companies. And from that experience, combined with my photography for the last 10 years, my interest was really sparked in Web3 and in blockchain technology. So I was seeing everything happening with the artist and with people trying to build, and I did notice that there were a lot of people, and especially also women who had like a nice little following, but it was very hard to be heard or seen, including myself. I mean, it's hard to be seen in this space because there are a couple of really big players who take a lot of attention, which is great. I mean, they're carving the way to the future. But I think if the smaller creators group together, we can be stronger. And then in my journey, I also looked at the CryptoPunks, the story of the CryptoPunks. And in another project I was doing, I met the developer of the V1 CryptoPunk, so the person who created the wrapper contract. If you don't know the story about the V1 and V2 CryptoPunks, it's a really interesting story. I won't, tell the whole thing now because it's a long story. But basically, the V1 CryptoPunks were a sort of a mistaken smart contract on the blockchain in 2017 that were minted on the blockchain. But then Larva Labs found a problem with the smart contract, so they discarded the first CryptoPunks and then redid the smart contract with 10,000 punks. Exactly the same punks. They look exactly the same, but just with a different smart contract. So I really like that story. And then I really wanted to like get a V1 punk. So then I started studying the CryptoPunks, and I noticed that there were 2,320 less female CryptoPunks in the original collection. So for me, I thought, hey, this is a nice idea to create those to equal out the playing field, so to speak, in the CryptoPunk community, and get more females in as well because it's very male dominated. It's a very nice community, very nice people. They are not very loud in this space, different from other projects. But they're all very nice, intelligent people to have really great conversations with. So I figured, we need to have more women. So that was established. I wanted to make 2,320, and then I thought, okay, how am I going to make these? So I figured, I started looking at people in the space that, I saw were showing up every day, like Paulina, Sketchlight, Endwoman, Shira, all these wonderful women. And I looked at their Twitters a little bit and their artwork. And I started creating punks that look like them, like the actual women. So that's how the idea was born to create 100 in the Genesis collection. And, these are all women that I've spoken to myself, or at least have a Twitter back and forth and checked all their links and their socials and to see and listen in spaces. So that is the basis for the generative collection. So I'm going to take all the different traits from the 100 women and then add some other traits and do some specials, and this way build up the collection. But that is actually only the start. So it's the start of building a community. And I got in touch with Wolfgang, who is a wonderful designer of spaces on cyber. I found his work there, and then I contacted him and I said, "Hey, can you do a space for me?" And this was first for my own photography. But then when I started the Paladin Punks, he actually noticed it. He noticed the artwork and he said, "Wow, I like this project. I'd love to work on your project." So that's how we got to work together on building the Paladin Punk Museum. And so we had a lot of conversations about the DNA of what we stand for and what we want to accomplish. And so then he came up with this space, and it's really only the social hub for all the galleries we're going to be attaching in the future of the Paladin Punks. There's going to be probably 576 galleries. I don't think every single person would want to have a gallery, or is either an artist or someone who wants to show their work. So and 576 is exactly the amount of pixels in one punk. So that's the idea, and we're working towards that. And the idea is that the Paladin Punks can use the hub, the social hub, for whatever they want to do. So, for example, I don't know if you ladies already want to speak about it. I won't tell the story, but anyway, there are people interested in using the space, and for example, this yesterday I had a school class in there to teach children about the metaverse in a very safe way. You don't need a wallet. You can go in there, and it was really the best day ever. I mean, these kids immediately understood like what the idea was behind it, and the teacher who came into Twitter Spaces last night as well said, and actually that made me cry literally. He said there were some girls in his class who were so motivated, and their eyes were lighting up that there was this female creator and female project lead. They were really like inspired, and really started working on creating, because we asked the children to make their own CryptoPunk. So they started like on the computer, started drawing their own punk. So yeah, it was really a very, very nice day. And I have, for example, a neighbor in my street who saw that I was busy with a metaverse, and she said, "Hey, I have a group of people that want to learn about the metaverse, and it's 150 people, and can we do something?" I'm sure, come in. So I'm going to organize all these groups so I can tell my story to more people at the same time, because now I'm a lot of doing one-on-ones, and of course that's going to take too much of time. So I'm hoping to really tell the story, and then have the Paladin Punks do their own thing in the museum and in their galleries, so they can also tell the story. So we, collectively can tell this story and bring new people in a very safe environment, without people having to have a wallet. And there's a lot of things happening now on wallet security with the new how do you say it, with the new smart contract for wallets, basically. So yeah, we're getting there, and I'm just trying to get people in, and starting with the females. And again, I keep stressing it. I don't want to miss out on bringing men in as well. So that's the story of the Paladin Punks.
That's a wonderful story. I love that, and I love your idea. I think it's such a smart and great idea to start from women in the space, and given visibility to them. I think it's so important, and I think it's great you're combining the digital and the punks, which is like such a strong symbol of Web3 and PFP projects, and very familiar, and but you're using it with the actual look of all the women, and I think most of us are not even showing our real looks. We use avatars. So this is so interesting in so many ways, and I love the story you told about the girls that was being inspired by that, and I get why you were excited to hear that, because actually the question we ask in this space title, and the main thing we wanted to discuss today, is how can Web3 help bring equality for women, and in general, and just the fact that one girl saw your space and heard this project story and was inspired and felt, that she can do something like that in the future. I think that's sort of the answer of how can Web3 help bring equality, and it's really inspire, and I support your project, and I love what you do.